What's up guys, TechNick here, and today I have something special for you. You may even call it a mystery, or how Xiaomi likes to call it, a MiStery. Xiaomi have sent me yet another MiStery box, and as you can see, Xiaomi have sent me loads of MiStery boxes in the past, but this one is different since this one has their first proper true wireless earbuds. Now I say proper because they've released many true wireless earbuds in the past, but these are premium and they come with a premium price tag, which we'll get to in a sec. But these are finally putting Xiaomi on the map in order to rival against the best of the best, such as the Apple AirPods Pros and Galaxy Buds Pro. So what makes the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro this premium? Well, in a nutshell, they have up to 40 decibel active noise cancellation, a dual transparency mode, 10mm dual magnet dynamic drivers with sectional diamond-like carbon coating, ultra-low distortion, support sub-band codec, advanced audio coding, and low latency high definition audio codec 4.0 for crystal clear high fidelity sound. They have a new dimensional audio feature to create 360-degree spatial audio. They also feature head tracking, wireless charging, and IP55 certification, and have a lightweight ergonomic stem design. Now I'd like to say they cost half the price of the competition, but they don't. Not even close. They cost $199. Now I know it sounds like a bit much. It's on par with that of the Galaxy Buds Pro, but it's still $50 cheaper than the Apple AirPods Pros. But I think Xiaomi are actually trying to make a statement over here. They don't want you to think that they're the cheaper go-to brand, especially when it comes to new products such as premium earbuds like these. They're trying to make a statement by saying, hey, we're just as premium as the best earbuds around. The Buds 3T Pro come in two main color variants, that being carbon black, or the color version that I have here with me today. I'm assuming due to the white box is the white version, which is known as gloss white. And when opening up the box, we're introduced to the Buds 3T Pros straight up. Here they are, and you can see that the packaging that they're sitting inside is kind of like a white ripple effect. I almost want to say it looks like a ripple of milk, but that would be degrading these. We get a massive manual for who knows what reason, a USB Type-C charging cable, and of course some extra tips depending on the size of your ears. But just to let you know that unlike the AirPod Pros, they're squishy all around and don't have that hard, firm pop that you hear when taking your tips on and off your AirPod Pros. But there is a nice little mesh in there, which will most likely prevent too much earwax from getting into your earbuds. There is a nice little magnetic clip, much like you'd expect from any truly wireless earbuds at this price range. We have a Xiaomi logo at the back over there, and an LED indicator light in the center. Pretty similar case if you ask me when compared to the AirPods Pros over here from Apple, almost identical in size, though the Apple AirPods are slightly heavier in terms of individual buds, as well as slightly heavier in terms of total weight, as well as case weight. Where they do differ, however, is that the AirPods Pro use a lightning port, compared to the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro, which is a more commonly used these days, USB Type-C cable. And we have the pairing switch at the bottom of the 3T Pros, as opposed to the back of the AirPod Pros. The case itself has a battery size of 480 mAh, which provides around 24 hours of battery life in total, with the case of course, which is around the same as the AirPods Pro case. And each earbud consists of a 38 mAh battery, which allows them to last for about 6 hours with active noise cancellation enabled. And that's significantly better than the AirPod Pros, which last a mere 4.5 hours. When using the Type-C cable to charge your Buds 3T Pros wired, it takes around an hour to fully charge, but of course the Buds 3T Pro do support any form of Qi wireless charging. However, they are not MagSafe compatible, of course, so they'll just slide right off a MagSafe charger. But to be fair, they are two completely different companies. Xiaomi's new premium buds also feature Bluetooth 5.2 technology as opposed to what Apple uses with the AirPods Pros, which is Bluetooth 5.0. 5.2 does indeed have a few tricks up its sleeve, such as lower energy consumption, faster pairing, and longer battery life. But distance range is pretty much the same at about 10 meters, which is pretty much the same across all wireless earbuds these days. The Apple AirPods Pros do have an IPX4 water resistance rating. Now I don't say dust and water because the X means there is no solid protection, meaning there is no dust protection on Apple's beasts. So it's only protected against a few splashes in terms of the 4 number rating in the IPX4 certification. Whereas the Xiaomi's actually offer a better protection, that being IP55, the first 5 standing for dust protection, so you're not going to see as much lint get in the way of earbuds while you're wearing them, and the other 5 steps up from splashes on the AirPods to water jets smashing in your ears. No one's going to shove a hose in your ear and spray. But there are going to be those times where you are stuck in a heavy storm, and Xiaomi's got you covered with that. Now, when it comes to comfort level, I assume they're going to be pretty similar considering they look pretty similar. They have a very similar ergonomic design and they both have stems on them, though the Xiaomi a tad longer. And when you fit them in your ear, the Xiaomi ones, they are lighter, which is nifty compared to the AirPods. And now I cannot hear myself speak because they both have such great active noise cancellation. They feel exactly the same. Now, while they do pretty much have the same fit, the AirPods Pros really do feel a lot heavier. The Xiaomi's feel exactly the same in the ear. If you've ever felt AirPod Pros in your ear before, you're gonna know that they are darn comfortable, probably the most comfortable around, and the Xiaomi's are matching it really, really well. They're $50 cheaper as well, like I mentioned earlier, but they are lighter, so I feel like you're gonna have a lot less strain on your ear while you're doing a heavy workout, or honestly just sitting around listening to some music. Now, of course, just like the AirPods Pros, we have this little stem at the bottom on the Xiaomi's. And just like the AirPods Pros, you have different gestures you can use with the stems. There is no touch control over here, but instead you squeeze it in order to change different modes. One quick squeeze pauses your music, another quick squeeze resumes your music, a double quick squeeze goes to the next track, and a triple quick squeeze goes to the previous track. And yes, of course, you can also, just like AirPods Pros, long squeeze to turn on ANC active noise cancellation, and another long squeeze to turn on transparency mode. And another nifty feature, just like on the AirPods, is that when you take them out of your ears, it pauses music, and when you pop them back in your ears, it resumes the music. Now, just like the AirPods Pros, there is no dedicated application for the brand new Xiaomi Buds 3T Pros. So when you open them, that is when an automatic app starts within the user interface, that being settings, of course. There it is. The codec we're using right now is AAC. Hopping into that, you can see our battery percentage over here, transparency over here, which can move over to transparency or enhanced voice. Also have noise cancellation, and there are 4 different modes over here. Wow, I can really not hear myself. So that is because we're on deep, which is for heavy situations when you're using the tube, subway station, for example, or there's loud music playing in the background. Balanced for a more noisy, I guess you could say, environment in the office. Light for when you typing on the keyboard or playing around with your mouse clicks, and adaptive, which can automatically adjust your noise cancellation. So if you go super loud, then of course it is gonna chuck on deep, and if you're pretty quiet and not much is bothering you, then it's gonna switch to light. And of course we also have spatial audio, which can track your head movement. Another one up that we have as opposed to the AirPods is that we can actually adjust the squeeze gestures that I showed you a second ago. And yes, you can include a volume up and volume down trigger on them, but you've got to bear in mind that this app interface is only available on compatible Xiaomi devices, though you can use the earbuds on any iOS or Android device. I have tested it, you will only get these features within the settings app on Xiaomi devices and not on any other phone. But once you have your gestures set up the way you'd like them, you can keep those settings saved no matter which device you connect it to. And we can also adjust which audio codec we prefer, as well as enable LHDC, which stands for Low Latency High Definition Audio Codec 4.0 for crystal clear high fidelity sound. And another nifty feature with the new Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro is the fact that you can connect them to two devices simultaneously, whether it be two Xiaomi devices, or a Xiaomi device and a Samsung device, or an Android and an iOS device, or even a laptop and a smartphone. The buds themselves have 10mm dual magnet dynamic drivers. Meanwhile, the Apple AirPods Pro have 11mm drivers, so slightly larger than that on the Xiaomi Buds, which means they'll have a slightly larger sound stage. Another benefit that the Xiaomi Buds have is that they have 24-bit 96 kilobit high definition audio transmission. That means that they have significantly less loss at a higher bit depth and sampling rate. Whereas the Apple AirPods Pros have 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz, which ranges all the way up to 24-bit 48 kilohertz of playback. So I guess it's safe to say that the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro have the upper hand here when compared to the AirPod Pros in terms of kilohertz, which allows for more data to be used with a complex mix of frequencies, which means they should have better audio quality. But how do they actually sound? Let's test them out right now and compare them to the Apple AirPod Pros. So the first song I'm going to be testing out for treble is going to be You've Got to Have Freedom by Pharoah Sanders. And now we're going to be using the AirPods with my MacBook over here, and of course the new Xiaomi 12 Pro with the Xiaomi Buds. Alright, the AirPods sound fantastic, but we knew that already. What about the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pros? Let's pop them in. I feel like the AirPods get a bit louder, but the Xiaomi Buds almost sound a bit cleaner. Alright, so it's time to focus on mid-range quality over here with a song called Helplessly Hoping by Crosby, Stills and Nash. Let's go ahead and pop in the AirPods again. Wow, you really do lose yourself in that kind of song. Let's move on to the Xiaomi Buds. Are these the same earbuds? Also sounds fantastic. Once again, not quite as loud as Apple's offering here, but I still feel like they're a bit crispier and cleaner. It seems like the Apples have that tiny bit of distortion point when listening at max volume. Now for bass control, we're going to be listening to Paper Trails by Darkside. Once again, starting up the AirPods here. Damn, it's punchy. All right, moving on to the Xiaomis. I don't know, the bass in the Xiaomis, it almost seems smoother. I think the AirPods are more punchy, slightly more bass on the AirPods, but with the Xiaomis, they still have the punchiness of bass, but it kind of like, it's like the bass is rolling instead of just in your face. It doesn't have weak bass per se. I wouldn't say it's as powerful as the AirPods bass, but the bass levels I would say are the same with more of a smoothness. It's like drinking a good cup of scotch on the Xiaomis, that is. Now to test out overall balance, we're gonna be listening to Wilderness by Explosions in the Sky. The chills that the song gives me is ridiculous. All right, hopping onto the Xiaomis. They are both really, really good. Now, just for kicks, I'm gonna be listening to a very good song in terms of treble, mid-range, as well as bass by Labyrinth called When I RIP. All right. Now to move on to the Xiaomis. All right, so the Xiaomis are 100% cleaner. They have a lot less distortion. I mean, a lot less distortion. Not that the AirPods have really bad distortion, but sometimes you notice it when the frequencies hit higher signals, whereas the Xiaomis can handle those signals because of the higher kilohertz that they actually have built into them. So definitely better for that, but the bass is a lot more punchy on the AirPods Pros. Right, so I've got the AirPods back in and I'm going to test out noise cancellation. Noise cancellation is currently on, active noise cancellation that is. I can still hear myself speak, tap the table with no music on. I'm going to hit play on Wilderness again because it's pretty soft, softer than the other songs in the middle of it. I can't hear that. I can hear that. I can hear it there. And hopping onto the Xiaomi Buds again. Noise cancellation, I'm going to throw it onto deep right now. I can hear that just as much, and this is on deep noise cancellation. And I can hear the mouse click. Now if I move on to balanced, you can definitely hear a bit more. Light. So light, balanced, and deep all sound very, very similar. Obviously if I'm in a noisier situation, that would be a little bit more helpful. But let's test out transparency. So while I've got the Xiaomi Buds on, I'm gonna hit up transparency, and here we go. I can actually hear the noise coming from my studio lighting, and there's regular transparency and enhanced voice. Enhanced voice just makes it a bit more transparent. So let me go ahead and test out the AirPods that way. Transparency is on. I think the AirPods are more transparent. I can hear a lot more of what's going on around me. I could still hear the exact same amount of things with the Xiaomi Buds. I could just hear it more clearly. It might be because of the microphones inside of the AirPods, which leads us to our next portion of the video, and that is a microphone test. I think it's time for that. Let's test out the mic quality of both sets of earbuds. This is TechNick testing out the microphones of the AirPods Pro. This is TechNick testing out the microphones of the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro. Alright, so one more thing I'd like to test out before we wrap all of this up is the Spatial 360-degree dimensional audio that is sitting inside of these buds. Wow. Head tracking's about to pop up. Now I've tested that out on my AirPods before, as well as on my Galaxy Buds Pros, and they're just as good. I mean, the tech is there, and it's still early days for spatial audio, but it sounds incredible, just as good as what I've seen from what Samsung and Apple has to offer. The Xiaomi Buds 3T Pro have more than decent microphone quality, as well as superb audio quality thanks to the 10mm drivers and 24-bit 96 kilohertz high definition audio transmission. Very well implemented active noise cancellation and transparency modes. Immersive 360-degree dimensional audio. Supports loads of different codecs. Has an IP55 certification. Has very long battery life and supports Qi wireless charging. But all of this comes at a pretty steep price. That being said, they are still $50 cheaper than the AirPods Pro and is on par, if not better, than what Apple has to offer in terms of sound quality, making it easy for me to recommend the Xiaomi Buds 3T Pros, not only to those who have a Xiaomi device, but to anyone looking for one of the best sounding wireless earbuds ever made. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. This is TechNick, and I'll catch you in the next one.